Alright guys, it is, it's 7 something in the morning on day 2 of Miles of Mayhem, and I'm just leaving the house now. So I got a couple hours to get to the track, about 2.5, 3 if there's construction. Should be there by about 10:30, 11, or 10:30ish. So I'm pretty sleepy, so I'm gonna go grab a coffee and then we're gonna get and make some miles. There we are, we're coming up on it. There's the yeah, if you can see it through the smoke, that's Edmonton International Airport, and that means the racetrack is just over here. So we pull up past the red light, so should be there any minute now, and we are about 10:30, so we're doing pretty good. Probably gonna miss the first run of A class, but that's okay. I'll get the car all cooled down and should be okay. And I missed my turn, so I had to turn around. Alrighty. Here it is. There's the sign that says RAD Torque Raceway. Exit navigation. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, bump, bump. And here we go. We're turning into RAD Torque Raceway. I have never ever been here before, so I don't know what to expect. I hear it's a fast track, which means I'm probably gonna keep dead hooking tires and going nowhere fast. But yeah, I'm gonna get into the pits, start getting it cooled down, and I'll check in a minute or two. All right, so we're here, tires are on, plugs are changed. It's still cooling down. Drinking a slushie to try to cool down myself. Car's pretty much ready to go. Waiting for our heat, or for our class to get called, because I showed up a little late. But Scott Taylor from Street Outlaws was still here because they were here on the weekend, so I went and got to meet him. That was pretty cool. I'll put a picture up about that. That was pretty neat. But now, yeah, we're sitting here cooling off, ready to go, waiting for A class to get called. And then we'll go up and we'll make a hit or two. All right, we just got called to go to the staging lanes for A class, which is us, A. So I'm gonna get the car started. It's already cooled down. Oh yeah, real cool down. All right, AFR went good. Sweet, there we go. There's running. So, all right, I'm gonna go head up to the lanes. All right, guys, so we just made it back from our first pass. Best pass ever. I got to leave the line decently. This track isn't nearly as sticky, but it's still pretty quick. I nailed that 55 shot. She absolutely loved it. I'm gonna jet it for 75 as soon as she cools down. And then we'll go back up and we'll do another hit later. I don't have a paper slip to show you. This place operates on an app. So I had to download the app and did whatever, but my best run ever yesterday or Sunday was, I think it was a 12-1. So today I just did an 11-1. I shaved a whole second just by leaving the line better. So hopefully we can keep that up, and I'm gonna throw a 75 shot in there. I come out the back at 70 mile an hour. So I'm hoping if I throw in the 75, I can maybe add another 5 mile an hour to that, and I can hopefully get into the 10s. The car's only teched for 9, so the closer we get to that, we're gonna have to start like purposely going slow. I don't think I'm gonna hit 9s, but I mean, if I just shaved a second by not sucking, hopefully, if I continue to not suck or get better at not sucking, then we might actually have a hot rod here. It's just hard to leave the line with that clutch. It is just so aggressive. But on a 50 shot roll racing on the highway, this thing would be a weapon. She will surprise. So I'm gonna get it cooled down and get jet it for 75, and we're gonna see what it does. Again, I had good bottle pressure. My bottle pressure is sitting just under 1,000, so we're definitely in the 950 or 900 to 1,000 range, and my AFR still went straight to 10 on that pass. So I'm gonna pull a plug and we'll see what it liked. It felt real good, real strong, real happy. So yeah, so we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna get it cooled off, get those plugs looked at, and get those jets changed. Hopefully by the time I'm done doing that, the fan has done its job and we can get back in the lanes for the free-for-all. I'm not scared about taking too long today. The next track is maybe 200-300 kilometers. It's not even a 2-hour drive, depending on what they make us do. That switch for the fan is working perfectly. It cools that motor back down to like cold in like 10 minutes. I went and grabbed a drink, a good old Coca-Cola, and left the fan running and changed those. I looked at the plugs, they look okay. They look good. So I got jetted for the 75, and we're cooled down enough on the oil temp and on the regular temp. So I'm gonna line back up and see if we can't see what a 75 shot will do. All right, so I made the pass, shot it with the 75. AFR was still fat as all hell. I still gotta pull the plug. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down a bit before I pull the plugs and take a look and see if they're healthy, but it was actually slower. I went 11.7, so I think I'll hand in my 11.1 and get on the road. I don't really want to beat on the car a whole lot more today. It's only day 2. I don't want to break anything, but I think I'm going to leave that 75 shot in for Rimby tomorrow. And I think I'm just going to run that the rest of the week, as long as I don't see a reason why not to, unless these plugs tell me I shouldn't. I mean, they looked real good after the 3-4 passes on 55, so I think we'll be okay. Other than that, I'm just going to cool the car down so I can pull those plugs, just because I don't want to play with them when they're hot. And then I might just pack up and switch over and just go hand in my slip and get my map, or my route, which the route was pretty, I guess they're not being so strict on it this year, for some reason. Previous years they've been real strict, but I guess a bunch of guys were complaining that the highway was breaking parts on their cars, but I don't really think that's the event's problem. I think that's the competitor's problem. You're doing a drag and drive, you should have a car that can drag and drive down any road. So if you're complaining that there's potholes or gravel or blah, 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 well, welcome to Saskatchewan, Alberta highways, for one. And for two, I think that's part of the fun. That's part of the event. I was really disappointed that they just let us rip up Highway 16, which is a 2-lane, 110 kilometer an hour, which should be like 70 mile an hour, roads. Like, it's easy sailing, just complete easy cruising. Put your cruise control on and just go. There's no challenge to it. There's no fun to it. I'm glad that I did stop at home for the night. That worked out well. Made the trip a little more, break it up a bit, because it was just mundane and boring and there's no sights to see.
If you have a 2009 CTSV 33mm half-inch driver socket, and the driver needs a CV axle, that is a 2009 CTSV.
I can't help him with that.
33mm half-inch driver socket.
33. Oh, mine's 32. I'd lend it to him, but ours are 32. I don't have it. I've got that. I don't have 33.
Or if you can't spot them, see Dustin Watts.
Anyway, yeah, go hand that in, get on the road, take a look at these plugs first. I want to make more passes. It's a lot of fun, but I don't want to be left stranded anywhere. I pulled the plug after a 75 shot pass. That insulator looks beautiful. The strap looks okay. The timing mark is a little far down, but it hasn't changed since 55 shot. That is exactly what the plug looked at 55. That's also exactly what the plug looked like at 35. So I think we're safe. That plug looks absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it hasn't changed from 35, 55, 75. So I am actually under the assumption that we don't have enough timing in it. But we're gonna keep running it. I think it's safe. That plug looks absolutely awesome after that. I held that button for probably 9 seconds, sprayed 75 shot. So I think we're fine. So tomorrow we're gonna run 75 shot at Rimby. I think it's called Alberta Central Raceways, or Central Alberta Raceways or something. All right, we have survived day 2 of Miles of Mayhem. I handed in my first pass, which was 11.1 over the 11.7. And yeah, so we got our map. We're gonna checkpoint at the Sunnybrook Hotel. I've never been there. That's kind of cool. Today's only going to be 138 kilometers, so real short trip. I mean, we'll be in Rimby before supper time. It's only 2:30 now. 138K is just a little over an hour and a half. If you're doing 100K an hour, if you're doing 120K an hour, it's basically an hour, hour and 10, hour and 15. So we'll go stop at our checkpoint. There's a restaurant there. We might eat lunch. I'm pretty hungry. And so yeah, there's our, we're gonna turn left out of here, head 10K in that direction. I guess that'd be west. And then we'll head south for 8K. And then take the first exit there, 35K to the Sunnybrook Hotel and Bar, which I'm guessing is in the town of Sunnybrook. Looks like this one they're gonna take us on some single lane roads, not let us nice and easy hit cruise control and cruise all the way up on a twinned highway. So right on. I'm gonna get the car packed. I already got the plug switched. I'll get the tires switched over and pack everything up, and we'll make a mile. All right, tires are off in the back. Got everything packed up. It's all in the trunk, sort of, you can see maybe, I don't know. So yeah, let's go to our checkpoint at that, where are we going? I don't remember. The Sunnybrook Hotel. Alright, so we made it to our checkpoint and we took our picture, grabbed a drink, and we're gonna keep making miles. I'm actually gonna follow Mr. Boosted Lifestyle, apparently. Him and his guys came over and they thought the car was really cool, so that's kind of neat. And they like to see something different. They thought the Saturn was neat, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna follow those guys. And about 4 minutes outside the check stop, we are stuck by construction. Wonderful. Ah, yes. We have 2 seasons here in Canada, winter and construction. You can't get anywhere fast ever. See guys, this is what these events are all about. Cruising down the highway, look at the scenery we got. We're getting closer to the mountains. We aren't gonna get near the mountains, but we got trees on both sides of us. Beautiful stretch of highway. This is what it's all about, guys. This is so much fun. I recommend doing it. Okay, so we made it, and I got a hotel room. I got the last hotel room at this place. There's been a bunch of cancellations from guys that broke. The parking lot is full of hot rods. Everybody pretty much in this place is on Miles of Mayhem, and there's really, Rimby's a really small town, so it's only got like 3 or 4 hotels. Oh, we got a good view, and here is a parking lot full of hot rods and some hot rodders and some guys that are wrenching on their shit actively right now. Pile of people hanging out. I'm parked behind that tree. I can't see my car from here, but there's the black old thing there. So that's gonna wrap it up for day 2. All right, so it is day 3 of Miles of Mayhem, and I'm like the last one out of the parking lot. It's still early too. Like the track is right there. You can see everyone from here. So I already swapped the plugs because the motor's cold, and I'm driving over there, so that's fine. I'm not concerned. I am gonna jet it back down to the 55 shot. I didn't like where the timing mark was after I looked at the plugs again. It's a little farther than I wanted, and I made a faster pass yesterday on the 55 than I did on the 75. So I'm gonna run the 55, and I'm just gonna stay there, keep it safe, and then I'll play with it and push it a little harder closer to home when it's not gonna cost me so much money to get the car home or time. So I'm gonna go down to the 55. It seemed real happy with that. And yeah, so I'm gonna jet down to the 55 and then I'm gonna grab some breakfast and I'm gonna head over to the track. And we'll see you guys over there. I got everything changed over. Wideband just went on. Got my breakfast sandwiches. Here's a little trick. If you live near or go to an A&W, if you're Canadian, you know what they are. If you're American, chances are you might not have one. They're in the States, they're just kind of few and far between and they're not very popular. But best ever is their bacon and egger. And what you do is get the bacon and egger and the hash brown, sprinkle some of their seasoning salt on that hash brown, and throw that hash brown right on the sandwich. Best thing you'll ever eat. That's my advice. And I learned that because I used to work there when I was in high school. But there you go. Bacon and egger sandwich with a hash brown on it. Delicious breakfast. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to eat this and go to the track. Hi, we're in the pits. I got her running. I got the tires on. Plugs are already changed. So we're unloaded. I just got the heater running on full blast on the floor to warm up the bottle. It worked yesterday. It's a little cool this morning, so I don't have the temperature to help me. Like the other days where it gets to be 30 degrees outside and the sun hits the bottle through the back window there, it heats that bottle up real good, puts it 1,000 psi. So checked it this morning, we were just under 800, so we got to warm that up about 150 pounds or so. So that's what I'm doing now, and then hopefully we'll be able to get in the lanes and go for a first run. If not, we'll be waiting. Alright, so while I was warming up the bottle, I went and threw some garbage out, and as I was coming back, I saw smoke coming out the tailpipe. And I was hoping I didn't hurt the motor, but I think I might've. I pulled the plugs and they looked all good, but I bore scoped, and 1, 2, and 4 are starting to push oil. So I think I hurt the rings in there. I don't know if I did it with the 75 or if I did it with the 50. I don't know what happened there. But it looks like the rings let go, so I think we're done. We didn't even make one on day 3. The car should make it home, and I can put the other motor in it. I could probably have that done by the end of the week. But I think we're done for Miles of Mayhem. We didn't make it this year. We did not make the finish. I'm disappointed. I'm quite upset, actually. I really, really wanted to finish this out, but that's not going to get any better. It's very light right now, and when you get on the throttle it goes away, but it does start puffing, and the more it idles the worse it gets. So driving the whatever the miles are today to Medicine Hat is going to be a lot, plus a hit is going to be asking much of it, and then by tomorrow it'll probably be really smoking, and then tomorrow back to Saskatoon, and it passes at Saskatoon. The thing might not make it home. So I'm contemplating calling it now and just packing up and driving the 3.5 hours home and giving it my best shot, I guess, and put that other motor in and hope it holds up better. It should. I think I may have screwed up my hone job on this one and not made my my valleys deep enough, and then the rings wore through them, I think. I don't know. I won't know until I get the motor apart, but yeah, it's pushing oil in 3 of the 4 cylinders, so that's not good. You don't want oil in the cylinders when you're spraying nitrous, so I think if we spray, we will hurt things a lot more. So I think we're done. I think we're done. Well, even though I'm hurt, no one else gets to make a pass either. It's misting / spitting, and it's only going to get worse, so they called it. We're done for the day. Everyone's just getting their map to go to the next location, and I'm probably just going to call it quits and go home. Well, and we begin our drive of shame. We did not survive. I might be calling it a little soon, but I just don't want to be stranded and hurt the car in a way I can't fix it. So we're just gonna head home. There we are, leaving the track. Okay, so I may have screwed up. I drove the car home and quit the event thinking that the motor was hurt and that the smoking was only going to get worse, because generally that's the way it goes. I drove it home. It was flawless the whole way. I get it home. I can't get it to smoke anymore. I pull the plugs. I bore scope it. Everything looks mint. There's no wetness on the cylinders or anything. So I don't know what I was seeing yesterday morning, but that kind of sucks. I probably could have continued and I probably could have finished, but I think I got a bit of new build paranoia where I saw a little thing and thought it was catastrophic when really I should have just pretended like I didn't see it. So I'm a little upset with myself today, but on the other note, the motor's fine. I even took the wife out last night and showed her what nitrous is like and threw 55 at it, and I checked the plugs again today and it was kind of the same deal. So it seems like, I don't know, it's fine. I checked everything, and the little bit of moisture I think is actually because of the colder plug and the higher octane fuel, that there's a little bit of fuel remaining in the cylinders, and that's the wetness I saw. And the wetness I saw wasn't oil coming up, because my oil level really hasn't changed, and we put what, 250 down to Saskatoon, and then 4 passes, and then back to the hotel and back to the wherever, so there, and then back to Lloyd, and then back to Edmonton, and then down to Rimbey. So I probably put 1,000 highway kilometers on it and 8 passes with nitrous and everything. And this thing was at the first line of the L, if it'll focus. Yeah, whatever. It's not going to focus. And it was at the first line of the L, and now it's at like the last line of the U. So I've barely lost any oil. Although I do have to put this on a catch can. It keeps spraying oil all over that and that and that, and kind of dripping down here, but it's kind of a mist. So got to get a catch can for that. I'd like to do that. But on the other note, there's street legal drags on Friday night after Miles of Mayhem is over. So since my car's fine, I'm going to rip to Saskatoon tomorrow. So I'm going to change the oil because it's looking a little dirty and brown. And my oil pressure has gone down, probably because I believe the overfueling, because every time I hit that nitrous, it shoots down to 10 AFR. And even naturally aspirated, the gauge shoots down to 11 when you mat it. When you floor it in this thing in any gear and you hit like 4 grand, it's 11 on the AFR. So they run fat naturally, and then you're adding more fuel through the nitrous. So yeah, it right fattens it out. So I think my oil's thinning because it's got fuel in it. So I'm gonna change the oil and kind of get it ready for a quick turnaround, and then tomorrow I'll go to Saskatoon for street legals. That'll be the end of the Miles of Mayhem videos. I really wish I would have completed it, because I probably could have. The car felt great last night when I shot nitrous at it. So I don't know. It's hard to make the decision in the moment. I thought about it for like 2 hours before I finally decided to quit and thought something was wrong. So I just kind of sat there and got in my own head. So that kind of sucks. But whatever. Now I know it isn't hurt and I don't have to be swapping a motor today, because that was my plan. But that'll be the end of these videos, and the next one will probably be hopefully some stuff from the street legals.